Okay, so welcome back to Velo, Ohio, and I am here at the intersection of, I believe, Stark County and Carroll County. So we're in beautiful Magnolia, Ohio for stop 6 of 7 in the Ohio Gravel Race Series, and I am here with Magnolia gravel grinder, Galore organizer Chris Smith. Chris, thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I know as a race organizer, you've got a busy day here, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
I guess this is, and my understanding is this is the 6th time you've put on this event. If you wouldn't mind taking me back to just the origin, how this all came together, and maybe how it's changed over the years.
Yeah, it was an interesting time back then. Black Fork started their first ride, and I went over there and had a hoot and met those guys. And they knew I was a third-generation tree farmer with gravel roads I've been driving since a teenager. And it just kind of happened organically. And then, like in the 2nd or 3rd year of our event, unfortunately it was during COVID, and everybody kind of had to back out from hosting their events. And because this is a private property, we ran the event and staggered people out in groups of 5, and everybody was so excited to come and engage and get back out, with friends, and just obviously we were as safe as possible. And from that point on, it just kind of put a foothold for hosting an event in Magnolia, and now it's just kind of evolved where you kind of get obsessed about like creating just maybe a different route every couple years and getting some feedback and stuff. So this we just had a first debut of a new route this year, and it's getting rave reviews. Tons of variety, farm crossings, walking gravel paths through parks, around lakes, and all kinds of stuff. So it was a little stressful to unveil a new route, but now that it's here and it's happening, it's a heck of a good time.
That's great, and this is a post-race interview. A lot of my interviews have been pre-race. This was one of the more, maybe the most unique gravel event that I've ever done. Like you said, the variety of the scenic country roads, which is funny because that's all it says on the Facebook site. I've never seen a more undersold gravel event before. Scenic country roads. This had a little bit of everything, like you said, the golf paths, the farm double track. It had a cyclocross vibe, it had a gravel vibe, it had a pavement vibe, but absolutely beautiful, absolutely scenic. And what they say about a longer event is you better enjoy the scenery just to kind of keep you engaged, and I definitely appreciated that about your course this year. Were there any sections that you were particularly excited about unveiling this year?
Oh yeah, so we got to cut through Lake Mohawk, which is a private lake, and it took 2 weeks for the board members to approve it. And it was interesting because they were like, wait, they're just pedal bikes, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, we're going to be in there for 1.8 miles, but we enter Mohawk on gravel and leave Mohawk on gravel. And I said, it avoids 3 miles of a state route with cars doing 60, 70 miles an hour. And so they went for it. So it just added a really cool dynamic to cut through there. And then it accessed a whole nother side of my original route's gravel, which led us towards one of our huge 300-acre farms that we got to cross. And then the cat's meow was we got to go do the new Atwood Lake crossing, where they put in a 2-mile gravel walking path with bridges and some climbs and some pristine, gravel path that was so secluded. So the fact that they kind of gave us clearance, they even closed it down for all the riders today. So it was kind of exciting to just create an event where it was basically sections, and you just kept moving, and it was different all the time. And then when you were on pavement, it was normally chip and seal, so it wasn't really busy traffic, but it kind of gave your legs a break, and then all of a sudden you were off on your next gravel adventure.
Sure.
Yeah.
As an organizer, you must get a lot of satisfaction from the positive feedback you've gotten, but as a cyclist, was it tough for you to sit on the sideline today and not be out there kind of doing your own thing?
Oh, well, that's a funny story. In my first year, I tried to ride the event, and my parents are a little older, and they're like, yeah, we want to work the feed station, that's going to be really cool. And so the feed station's about 20-25 miles in, and I'm riding about 15th on the course with a couple buddies because there's just people just blistering it. And I get to the feed station, and my dad just goes, we need a first aid kit. And he goes, we need some water. Nobody wants this sugary shit. And so I abandoned that race that day. I went and got fresh water and a first aid kit, and it was just for some scrapes that you get. But it just made me realize that embracing the event and kind of being present for all the riders. Like today I got to drive around and see the front groups and get some video and check, you know, we had EMS on site and they're moving around. So you realize that, yeah, I want to ride it, but I get to do plenty of riding, and so watching everybody enjoy it was just as fun.
Great.
Yeah.
And I would like to remark on that, because every race has something different to offer, but I have never seen a better organized event with respect to safety. Obviously, you've made that a priority. You were out here before the race even started this morning, just making sure that every little rut, that every section of loose gravel, there was a notification beforehand, because obviously 99% of us were weekend warriors here. We're out here to have fun. We got to get to work on Monday. And I just really felt like you were taking care of the riders. And that is honestly something that is going to bring me and a lot of other riders back to this event. And I would just love for other organizers to see this and to just kind of see it as the model of probably how things should be done, because it is a big selling point. And so I just really appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. And, you know, being an avid rider racer myself, you know, the last thing I want to hear is just about people going down. If anybody comes and I take them on a ride, they're going to be like, this is an amazing ride. But when you add the word race to it, it takes all these little elements and just adds some danger. So I guess the most important thing that I can do as a promoter and designer is just let people know, you know, you're not going to win the race going too fast into this section, but you could definitely lose it. Safety is my #1 priority, and I want to mark everything so everybody knows how to prepare for the next section.
Great,
Yep.
great. And as a woodworker, you're holding on to something here. Let's check that out. Tell me a little bit about this.
You know, we've always done the magnets, and so it was kind of cool that I found a guy that could do a laser print on some wood, and I think it worked out really good. And so next year we're going to try and expand this into a lot more of them.
Awesome. Well, again, I really appreciate all the effort you put into it. Anything else you'd like to add, or?
No, you know, don't underestimate Ohio. There's hills everywhere and gravel everywhere. You just got to go find it. So
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris.
okay, thanks.